So hey guys, Rivet here. Welcome back to another vlog. Another day of recording first thing in the morning for the same day. Tried to do this yesterday. Got everything ready and ended up getting stuck in a rainstorm. So I'm not about to pull my electronics out in the middle of that. Made a few changes to my setup, to my system. This camera now is on a Joby, I think it's called. It's used for kind of, you mount your camera to it. I've had it for a while. I bought it from a DSLR because you can wrap the legs around things. It's like little circular balls that are all joined together for the legs. It's neat. But yeah, I bought it for my DSLR and I've wanted to attach it to this, but I need to get an extension because for whatever reason, when they made this camera, the mount that you use, it's like a little screw hole. It's really close to the arm of the gimbal. So anything you mount to it blocks the gimbal from moving. It's just weird. So I had to get an extender that moved it out. And so now I have you guys comfortably held I get to hold it where I want to hold it with my arm, and it's extended up higher, which is where I need to have it be. So I'm happy. Also, I got a new lavalier mic, which has got a proper windscreen on it, so audio quality should be better. Fingers crossed. Picked that up, the lavalier, for a little project I did for work, which I'm still waiting. I was going to make it live this weekend, but presentation I was supposed to do got put off. So probably next week. We'll find out. So it's already recorded. It's all done. I did a recording actually in my house for the first time, which was really weird. Just for like me sitting in front of my computer. So just talking about how to start a YouTube channel, my thoughts and processes about the whole thing. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was an interesting endeavor, pushing my boundaries, my limits for myself a little bit more than I'm used to. So, which is good. Pushing yourself is always a good thing. Yes, talking about life. Whew, fall, as you can see, is upon us. It is, I'm trying to think, 10 degrees today, centigrade. So it's cool. It's very cool. But it's pleasant. The trees have dropping their leaves like crazy. Colors have changed. Skies have clouded up. So not so many blue sky days going forward, but I'm okay with that. I prefer fall. It's one of my favorite seasons. I like the cool weather. I like the cool evenings. Growing up in Florida kind of forced that on me. You tend to enjoy the cool when you have the opportunity to, and you don't get very much opportunity in Florida with that. So, but here, get a lot of cool. Got a lot of cold too, but I'm okay with that too. So, with that being in October, we are now in Montreal, Quebec City, and parts of the South Shore, I think that they said, are all now in a red zone for the pandemic. Numbers have spiked up to 700 plus a day again across the province. At the peak, we were over 1,000, so we're not quite there yet, but we're heading in that direction. They're contributing it to folks that are not socially distancing, getting relaxed with a lot of the stuff, and parties and social gatherings, so they've restricted all of that again. So restaurants are now closed for only takeout. They've shut down all the bars, all the cinemas, any public meeting place are done. They've stopped parties, like house parties and that kind of thing. So you can't have social gatherings, so they're making it strict this time, which affects me not at all because I don't do any of that stuff anyway. The only thing I have to deal with is more people with masks on. So, and I've been wearing mine for months now. There was a report out of Ontario yesterday talking about their restrictions, which are looking like they're going to be heading in the same direction as Quebec's, which is fine. It affects my family. My son lives there. And they were stating that they're going to have exceptions for the rules. Whereas, like, you're not allowed having people that are not on your immediate circle of friends or whatever, like they have a circle that you're allowed at one point. I don't know it because I don't deal with it. But you're allowed to. I thought this was interesting. If you live alone, and you are allowed to make a circle of friends with another person that lives alone, so that you don't feel isolated, because apparently it affects your mental state. I was thinking, I was like, I've had zero social interaction, like one-on-one stuff, since March. I mean, I talk to friends, I talk to my family all the time, and I mean, I feel normal. What the hell? What are you doing, camera? What were you looking at? I swear to God. It was like, oh, there's the ground. Sorry about that. So yeah, I've been on my own since March. I mean, I've had a touch of the blues and stuff, obviously, and you know, when the pandemic was first hitting, I was just like, I was a wreck. But you know, I've kind of grown accustomed to what we are living in now, and not that I enjoy it or anything, but it is what it is. But I just found it really odd that they want you to expand your social circle to include one other person because they don't want you to affect your mental health. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll just stick with not having a social circle and keeping my health instead of just my mental health in check. I've been talking to a few friends, and they're much of a similar mindset. It's like, you know, the social circle of one is fine for them. You know, we keep in touch, we keep touching bases with, you know, the people that you love, and you make sure that they're okay. You know, sometimes you just need that conversation. I know I do from time to time. Great. I cross the street to get away from a person, and they cross the street as well. So we'll do this again. I love this. That's the thing. Like I said, with social interaction, I don't want any. Like even at the store, I barely talk to anybody. That's the thing. I talk to people all day long on the phones at work, and a lot of people are just, you know, craving that interaction with folks. So sometimes they just want to have a conversation. You know, if you're friendly and nice on the phones, they're just like blah 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 blah, and they want to have a chit chat. I'm not going to dissuade them at this point. You know, I want to get my work done, but you know, as I'm working on what I'm doing, if they want to have a conversation with me while I'm working away, I got no issues with that. Because sometimes the things I do take like 5 or 6 minutes. You know, and most of the time I'd be putting them on hold for that. You know, it's like, you know, I'm going to take me a minute to do what I need to do, put you on hold. I'm usually fine with it. Some people, they just want to chit chat. And so while I'm working away, they want to have a conversation, I'm in. It slows me down a little bit, obviously, but it's fine. Like I'm more than happy to do that. It helps me too, because you know, you'll end up getting people that are talking to you that are from an area you've lived in the past, and you know, you'll mention a place and they're like, oh, I know where that is. And I'm like, oh, I haven't been there in like, you know, X number of years, and you know, ask what it's like now, and they, you know, oh yeah, this is what's happening, and it's interesting. It's like touching base with old friends that you've never ever met before. So I dig it. I dig it a lot. But yeah, life is pretty good. I don't have really anything to complain about. I've been keeping myself busy, obviously. I'm filming my cooking video today. I was waiting on one last bit. It's kind of a funny story, but it finally arrived. It took forever. I've been waiting for this for a month and a half, and it's a ring light. Nothing major. Found it on Amazon. It was like $25. Came with a stand and a clip for your phone, and it's just a ring light. Kind of what I needed. This camera doesn't work for my indoor photography. It's a wide-angle lens. It's way too finicky. Does not like dark, you know, spaces. You know, it's an action camera. It's a very small sensor, so you know, it needs bright light in order to work. And I'm fine with that. It works, does what it needs to. I'm cool. My camera on my phone works indoors, so does my DSLR. But I need a light. So I had a a ring light ordered twice on Amazon. Both times the deliveries, one got lost, one got stolen, and the third time it arrived. So it finally arrived this last week. So I've been doing some test shoots with it. I had another light before, but it was just too amber in color. Like the yellow tones were too predominant in it, and I just didn't like the way that the footage was looking. But I mean, it did allow for me to do a lot of test shots and set up my cameras the way that I want to for this stuff. So I've got that all worked out now. And so as I'm speaking, I'm going off to the grocery store to get the last little bits that I need for baking, because I've been doing a lot of cooking anyway without like filming it. I've been doing like my tests for making the recipes. And so there's a scone recipe that I've been working on that's now done. And that's what I'm going to be filming today, or hopefully going live tomorrow. And then I've worked out 2 recipes for overnight oatmeal. I mean, I've been doing one of them for years, and it's delightful. I've made a new one, and that's been turning out. It's not as good. I have to tweak the spicing on it a little bit for my palate, but I want to give a lot of options for things. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I got stuff I need done, and it's all good. And we are now wandering. I usually start these vlogs at one spot and wander. I did the opposite direction today. I turned it on about where I usually turn it off. But yeah, it's good. I ended up getting some changes made to my setup for my PC. I got a capture card back in. I had a capture card before. It was an Elgato. Picked it up secondhand, pawn shop in Florida. Or not a pawn shop, it was on Craigslist in Florida. It worked great. It works fine. But I have problems with how they do their sound on it. I just didn't like having to use the Elgato software. It works well for a lot of folks, but not for me. And so I found a cheap 4K capture card. It's a 4K pass-through, so I can play like my Xbox. It'll put the signal through USB 3 to my computer. OBS captures the signal coming from USB, and the pass-through will just take the HDMI signal and transfer it to the screen. So when I get my new 4K Xbox or PlayStation 5 or both, or whatever I end up with, I can still play it in 4K, but it's going to downsample and record at 1080. So I'm happy with it. So that arrived yesterday for me. And funny enough, it was about the same price I paid for the used Elgato 4 years ago now. So it was like $100 Canadian, around $70 US. And I like it. It's good. I did a couple of tests with it yesterday. Everything works. I can throw it into OBS. I can record and hear, and there's no latency with it. It's like there's no lag. That's the part that I needed more than anything. So I'm good. Everything works there. So, and I did that first off so that I could actually finish and start recording Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Atlantis levels. So that's something I've wanted to do. I got that all set up. So I'm finally maxed my character out, got everything organized, so we're there. But I'm going to end things here because this is bloody loud, standing next to a frickin' highway. Plus my allergies are acting up again. All this dust. That's why I need my mask on, so I keep the allergens out of my nose. I hate it. Anyway, I want to thank everybody again for all your support here on the channel. Sorry for the loud highway, but hey, everything in life has worked, so this is mine. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.